My name is Winfried Roegrock. I'm a professor of international management at the University of St. Gallen. I'm the director of our Research Institute for International Management, and I'm also the dean of our executive school, which deals with everything post-experience. So what we have in mind is first an introductory course where we'll deal with different aspects of international management. Mostly looking at how do companies internationalize, how do they go to abroad, how do different functions, leadership, strategic issues work out in an international context. And then we have different electives. Many of them deal with emerging markets, so we've got one elective specifically on China, we've got one elective specifically on India, with colleagues who have lived there for, well, anything between 4 and over 20 years. Who really understand those countries, who have business experience, not just academic, but also business experience in those countries. We have an elective focusing on what happens at the top of large multinational corporations in order to understand, career potential. And then, of course, we have, as we have with most profile areas, we've got a class that deals with a business project. And that currently can be taken in Singapore, but in the future, with the campus with the hub in Sao Paulo also taking shape, can also be taken in Sao Paulo. So then students have the possibility to either write a bachelor thesis or to do a business project either in Singapore or in Sao Paulo. Now that together gives an overview of the profile area, and I should emphasize with also quite international faculty. We've got faculty who have said, have lived abroad. We've got faculty from Greece, we've got faculty from Spain, so we've got, and people who really have a lot of international experience. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's a couple of answers to that. First, despite everything that you might read in the newspapers today, the business world is not becoming less international. So the global dimension of business is becoming more important, not less important. And it's important for students to understand those dimensions in order to understand how to run their companies, how to be good managers or entrepreneurs in the future themselves. There's also something else on top of that, and that is research has shown that if you want to make it to the top fast, go international. You'll be more successful if you have international experiences. And that starts with an international education. But of course afterwards, and we hope that many students will, after this profile area, also go and get working experience abroad, do internships, and maybe take on jobs abroad. Because that is the best way to challenge yourself. Here's the thing, if you always live in your own cultural zone, you're not challenged to the same extent as when you are living in different culture areas, where people have different expectations of you, where things that are entirely normal to them are not normal to you. So you've got to work out, you've got to understand, and you've got to also position yourself. Mm-hmm.